The fear was real, and it started before the riders even hit the first mountain. Stage 1 of the 2025 Tour de France. Crosswinds ripped the peloton apart. A former world champion is on the ground, and 2 riders are already down fighting over a single point on the road. 8 stages, 3 abandons, 1 broken rib. This is what actually happens when 176 riders go to war with the road and with each other. Every rider will tell you the first week of the Tour de France is the one they fear the most. Not the mountains, not the time trials. The first week. Because in the mountains, the strongest rider wins. In week 1, anyone can lose everything in half a second through no fault of their own. Stage 1 already proved that. The peloton was cruising toward what looked like a routine sprint finish until the wind changed direction 18 kilometers from the line. That's all it took. Visma Lease Bike saw the crosswind and attacked immediately, and the entire race shattered into 3 separate groups. Riders who trained their whole lives to be here were suddenly fighting just to stay upright, let alone stay in contention. Remco Evenepoel and Primož Roglič got caught out. 39 seconds gone on stage 1 before the race had even really started. But losing time was the good outcome that day. Filippo Ganna wasn't as lucky. He went down hard early in the stage, tried to continue, and became the very first rider to abandon the 2025 Tour. 1 crash. 1 dream over before most fans had even sat down to watch. And if you think that's as chaotic as an opening stage gets, there's still the breakaway. Benjamin Thomas and Matteo Verche fighting tooth and nail over a single mountain point. 1 point, when they collided and hit the deck at full speed. Not for the stage win, not for yellow, for 1 point. That's the first lesson stage 1 teaches you. In this race, fear doesn't wait for the mountains to show up. You'd think after a day like that, the peloton would ease off. They didn't. If anything, stage 3 made things worse. Riders called it riding in hell. A day that started uneventful turned into a demolition derby with 100 kilometers still to go. And the biggest victim was the last man you'd expect to go down twice. Jasper Philipsen, the green jersey, the winner of stage 1, still riding high off his first ever yellow jersey. At the intermediate sprint, he collided hard, hit the pavement, and that was it. His tour was over. The rider who'd looked untouchable 2 days earlier was in an ambulance by the afternoon. And Evenepoel, he went down again. Same rider, same race. A second reminder that in this tour, nobody is safe twice. By stage 7, the fear wasn't hypothetical anymore. It was physical. With just 6 kilometers to go on the approach to Mur de Bretagne, at nearly 70 kilometers an hour, the general classification group hit the deck. João Almeida went down. So did Jack Haig. So did Santiago Buitrago. Almeida got back on his bike, dazed, bleeding, his skin suit torn, and rode to the finish anyway. It wasn't until the X-rays came back that anyone knew how bad it really was. A fractured rib. Haig didn't get back up at all. His race ended right there, on the tarmac, 6 kilometers from the finish line. And here's the part that makes it worse. That same day, a few hundred meters up the road, Tadej Pogačar was winning the stage and pulling the yellow jersey back onto his shoulders. Celebration and disaster happening in the same 10 minutes on the same climb. That's the 2025 Tour de France in one image. Triumph for one rider, a hospital visit for another. 3 stages, 3 different kinds of fear. The fear of losing time you can never get back. The fear of losing your jersey to a crash you never saw coming. and the fear of your own body giving out on the road in front of millions of people with nothing you can do about it. Because if there's one image that sums up everything this Tour de France threatened from stage one, it's João Almeida sitting in the grass at the side of the road, minutes after the biggest crash of the week, deciding to get back on his bike anyway. Not because he wasn't hurt, he was. A fractured rib, torn skin, a hand he could barely close. He got back up because that's what stage one had already warned everyone about. In this race, stopping is never really an option, even when your body is telling you it should be. Almeida finished the stage 10 minutes down, rode the next day too, and then 2 days later, his tour ended anyway. Not from one crash, from all of it catching up to him at once. And that's really what these 8 stages showed us. This wasn't bad luck. This wasn't one unlucky rider having a rough week. Stage 1 warned us with the crosswinds and Ghana's early abandon. Stage 3 confirmed it when the green jersey himself went down twice in one race. And Stage 7 made it undeniable when a fractured rib became the price of finishing a bike race. The fear these riders carry isn't about losing. It's about knowing that on any given kilometer, none of that will even matter. Because the road can end your race for you. That's the part fans don't always see. The finish line photos, the yellow jersey celebrations. That's the story everyone wants to tell. But for every Pogačar raising his arms at the line, there's an Almeida in the medical truck at the exact same moment. Same stage, same climb, completely different outcome. And that's stages 1 through 8 of the 2025 Tour de France. 3 crashes, 3 abandons, and a peloton that learned the hard way that fear doesn't wait for the mountains. If this is the first week, imagine what the next 2 weeks had in store. If you want to see how the rest of this tour played out, make sure you're subscribed. Drop a comment and let me know. Which of these 3 crashes shocked you the most? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.